No. What the? Oh my god. What? No. What? So, it's kind of late at night right now. And I just finished The Lord of Shadow. Thank you, Sandra. Oh my god. I literally have no words. Like, what the actual F? I like, I can't even, I, I just, what? Hey guys, it's me Jessica, and today I'm going to be doing a review for Lord of Shadows by Cassandra Clare, the second book in the Dark Artifice trilogy. Yeah, this is a trilogy. Second book in the Dark Artifices trilogy, and oh my god, did this book literally kill me. I'm surprised I'm here alive right now. So, oh my god, I don't even know what I want to talk about in this book. There's just so much going on. If you've read Lady Midnight and you haven't read Lord of Shadows, I'm pretty sure everyone has read Lord of Shadows so far. But if you haven't read it, this book takes place a few weeks, maybe one or two after the events of Lady Midnight. So it's all fairly recent and hasn't been like months and stuff like that, but it's great. I feel like it takes about 100 pages to get to the actual like really good plot stuff. But it is a fantastic book. I'm going to have to give it 4 out of 5 stars because of that ending and because of a few other things as well. But other than that, I thought this book was great. It was fantastic. A great entry in the series. I'm very excited for the third book. I'm excited for the third book, and I'm excited to see what happens and how things play out. But guess what? I have to wait until 2019 for this book to come out, the third book, because the first book in the Last Hours, I think it's called the Last Hours trilogy, comes out next year, and then after that it's the third book in the Dark Artifices series. So I'm just like I don't even know what I'm going to do, and it hurts. It hurts a lot. So I'm gonna go into spoilers now. If you haven't read the book, I highly recommend you read Lady Midnight. Like, you can't just go straight into Lady Midnight though. You've got to read everything that comes before that, and there are a lot of books that come before that, but it's worth it. It's amazing. I do recommend the series. Highly recommend the series. Cassandra Clare is one of my favorite authors. But I'm gonna get into spoilers now, and I'm gonna talk about all the emotions, and I'm gonna try and not scream, but no promises. Let's get the ending out of the way. Oh my god, Annabelle Blackthorne, the council just, I know what they were trying to prove with her having the mortal sword in her hand, and I understand the whole kind of situation. They were trying to disprove the cohort and the Dearborns, especially Zara Dearborn. I hate her. Oh my gosh, I hate Zara Dearborn so much, and they were trying to disprove all her claims about killing Malcolm and all these other things. And I mean, if they just had Zara come down and take the mortal sword, then she would have to confess that she didn't kill him. And they took it a little too far, and I'm very upset that the council did not call down Zara Dearborn to have her take up the mortal sword too. I mean, take it out of Annabelle's hand and then protect her, because Annabelle is scared. And then, but like, I'm still pissed at her for going cray-cray and killing Levy. Oh my god, Levy! And Julian's reaction to what happened to Levy. And he's holding her. And you saw my reaction. It hurt. It hurt so much because everything was planned out to where everything was gonna be okay. And and it didn't. It didn't. Robert Lightwood is dead. Livy Blackthorn is dead. Annabella's gone, and I'm pretty sure the Unseelie King has her, and that means he has the Black Volume. Oh, it didn't go well. And the Mortal Sword is destroyed because of Cortana. Oh my gosh, Cortana breaking the Mortal Sword. I was like, oh my god. Like, they were like tears, and I was just like, oh my god, what is going on? And now, I don't know what's gonna happen. I mean, there's gonna be a new Inquisitor, and how are they gonna get this new Inquisitor to exile Emma so then the Parabatai bond can be like severed a little bit. It's like weakened, so then they can be like around each other, or they can figure out what's going on. And so Magnus can help them, because Magnus and Alec and Raphael and Max are in this book, and they're absolutely adorable. I kept thinking in my mind that Max was a little older than he actually is. He's a toddler, and that didn't click in my mind. I thought like Max was the same age as Raphael, so roughly about 7. But they're not. And oh my gosh, I love Alex and I love Alec and I love Magnus. Their relationship is adorable. They're so much more mature than they were in the Mortal Instruments, and it's like great to see, but I also miss that, like, them making mistakes and them being like a little immature. I don't know why, but I miss that. And oh my gosh, since we're talking about the Mortal Instruments group here, let's talk about Jace and Clary and how Clary said no to Jace's proposal. Like, no! But I totally understand. She feels like she's going to be dying soon because she's having these visions, she's having these dreams, and she knows something is on the horizon. And I know what's gonna happen is the final of the Shadowhunter saga, because I saw an interview with Cassandra Clare, and she was talking about how after the Dark Artifice, after the Last Hours, I think there's another trilogy, and then after that there's one, and that one is like the end, and it involves this like great like bad guy power, and everyone from the books has to like band together. Not only that, but things that the older generations have done affects the things that happen as well, so it's like everything comes full circle, and I'm excited for that series. I'm also quite nervous because I don't want Clary to die. I don't want Clary to die. I don't want any of the great people that I love to die, like Jace. No, can we not have that? And oh, I am so nervous because I have no clue what's going to happen. I have no clue what's going on, and I have no clue what I'm going to do with myself when something bad happens, because I love these characters and I love them a lot, and I don't know what I'm going to do. Also, Magnus is sick. Like, something is going on. Something is like draining, I don't want to say magic, or just like draining like magical ability or something like that, and I am nervous about what's going on. I'm nervous about what's happening because like the land is dying, runes aren't working, Seraph Blades aren't working in the Unseelie court, and I am very nervous to see what happens. I still don't trust the Seelie Queen, and we have this deal going on with her, and I'm just so freaking nervous for the next book. I'm so nervous. So I think it actually might be okay to have this book break, you know, with the beginning of the Last Hours, because then we, you know, things will be a little happier because we're in the beginning of a series, and we can't look fondly on everything that was so great about Lady Midnight, because Lady Midnight was awesome. I think I like Lady Midnight more than Lord of Shadows, but you know, let's just not go into Lady Midnight, because this is about Lord of Shadows. And so much has happened. I mean, like, look how big this book, so much happened in this book. It's so hard to talk about all of it. But I guess we should talk about Emma and Julian's journey. Them being, like, torturing themselves because they can't be together, and also Emma trying to do everything that she can for Julian not to pursue her because she knows about the curse, and Julian doesn't know about the curse, and it's all very complicated and confusing. Okay, it's not confusing, it's just complicated, and it like makes me feel like really sad for them. Cassandra Clare has like such a great way of writing like these not unrequited, but like these forbidden love stories, and having you feel like frustrated because they can't be together, but they should be together, but they have good reason not to be together. But if you think about it, Cassandra Clare does write a lot where it has that forbidden love, because if you think about like Will and Tessa, Will thought he was cursed, so therefore he couldn't be with Tessa, and there's the whole Clary and Jace were brother and sister, not really type situation going on, and now we have two Parabatai who practically romantically belong together but can't be together. So yeah, it's really sad. One thing I really missed about this book, and they had it a couple of times in there, but it's when Julian and Emma, they write on each other's skin, and they know, that's how they have conversations. I missed that, and it was only in here a couple of times, and I missed that. I miss Julian and Emma talking through, like, just writing on their skin. It was, I love that. I love that. I like how they're both trying to find a way to be together, but it's not possible. I read this one theory, and I hope it's true. I hope it's true, and I want it to be true. But through Lady Midnight and Lord of Shadows, they commented on how Cortana can cut through anything, and the theory was that Cortana is going to break the parabatai bond between Emma and Julian, and I'm like, yes, that has to happen. I mean, Cortana literally broke the mortal sword. It has to happen, and I'm just, I'm waiting for that to happen, and I gotta wait 2 years for that to happen. But I'm just hoping that, like, somehow the bond, like, shows up physically, like a thread between them, and Cortana can cut that thread, and then the bond is gone. That's what I want, and I don't want any of the other parabatai bonds to disappear, like the Seelie Queen promised she might do if they get the black volume. I mean, like, I would not trust the Seelie Queen with the black volume at all, because she might try to raise Sebastian. Because Sebastian and her had that relationship going on in City of Heavenly Fire. There was that chapter where they're both in bed, and I was like, oh my god, no, stop it, stop, please, this is, no. So, I don't trust the Seelie Queen at all. The only fae people I trust are Mark and Helen, and maybe Kieran. Okay, I trust Kieran, and then what's his name? The Great Hunt guy who's into Diana. Him. Those are the only 4 fae people I trust, like, at all, and I'm just so nervous to see what happens, and oh my god, I can't even. Oh my god. I said I was going to talk about ending, but I don't really want to talk about the ending because it just hurts too much. It hurts too much, and I don't want to talk about it. There's this character when Livy, Ty, and Kit, I'm going to talk about them later, but when the 3 of them go to the Shadow Market in London, and they meet that one character who is a warlock. He has green skin, and he has the hood on, and he calls himself Shade, but that's not his name. I think it's Ragnar Fell, because he had green skin, if I'm not mistaken. I believe he had green skin, and Cassandra Clare said that someone comes back from the dead, not Annabelle. Who's not Annabelle. So someone comes back from the dead who's not Annabelle and is in this book. And so I think it's Ragnar Fell, and he's that Shade character, because right when Magnus showed up, that guy was gone. He wasn't even there at all. So I think he's gonna show up in the next book, and he's gonna help them out. I hope that happens. He calls himself Shade because maybe he is a Shade. Maybe he's kind of like a ghost, but not really a ghost. You know what I mean? Speaking of ghosts, let's talk about Jessamine, because Jessamine's in this book, and Kit can see her, and I think that's really, really funny. I like that a lot, where Ty's like, here, let me give you your first rune, and so he gets it, and then he's like, oh my god, I see a ghost, and he's like, yeah, I wanted to see if it worked, because you're a Herondale, but like, I didn't want to tell you just in case it didn't happen. Excited for Last Hours, because it's Will and Tessa's kids, and they can obviously see Jessamine, so there's going to be a lot more of her, because in the Infernal Devices, there wasn't a lot of Jessamine. You know, there was her betrayal, and then like her trying to redeem herself, and then her dying, and all that kind of stuff, and obviously, at the time I didn't know it was like foreshadowed that she was going to be a bigger part of the series, but she is, and I'm really happy about that, because I feel like Jessamine's a little underrated. She annoyed me in the Infernal Devices, but she's definitely underrated, and I'm excited to see her be a better person as a ghost. Yeah, so let's talk about Ty, Kit, and Livy, but I'm gonna focus mainly on Ty and Kit, because I love their relationship. They're like, I love the bromance. I love the bromance between them. Kit's all like, I don't want to be here. I don't want to be a shadow hunter. I want to run away. But then like Ty is the person who makes him stay, you know, because Ty has autism, and Kit is the only one that really knows what like autism is, and the kind of like, not the symptoms, because everyone who has autism is different, and I was really happy to see that Kit was so open with Ty, and he totally understands Ty, even though there are sometimes when he gets confused, and Ty needs Kit, and Timorous needs Christopher. Especially with what happened in the end, they're definitely going to be like needing each other so much more, and I'm gonna cry now. I'm excited and nervous to see Kit and Ty's relationship progress. I hope they become parabatide now that Livy is gone, and at least Livy got her first kiss, and it is so sad because Livy is a great character. I wish we got a chapter from her perspective, like we never got one, and I feel I'm gonna miss her. Like, it's sad. It's sad. Like, Julian's reaction, it hurts so much. It's like we finally get all the Blackthorns together because Helen comes, and like all the Blackthorns are together, and then Annabelle just ruins it all. And she knew, Annabelle knew that hurting one of the other kids, like not hurting Julian, but hurting one of the other kids would hurt Julian more. Like, it hurts. It still hurts. I'm so pissed. Annabelle's gonna get what's coming to her, and I hope it's all of the Blackthorns coming together to hurt her because she deserves it. Alright, let's talk about Kieran, Christina, and Mark. Because they've got like this thing going. I don't even know what to call it. Like, Kieran is, I don't want to say attracted to Christina, but that's the only way I can think of it right now, because like Mark still loves Kieran, but with that like respectful love, not like that I want to be with you kind of love, because he has that towards Christina, and I'm really excited to see their relationship come. And I love how Christina is not pushing Mark to be in a relationship, though I think that's kind of what Mark needs. Like, Mark definitely needs to see that Christina likes him, and not in a I need to pretend I'm drunk to be with you kind of way, like when they were in Fairy. Oh man, and the whole like the bond thing, the link, and how they're in intense pain when they're separated from each other. But I just like the relationship, I don't even know what to make of it. And like Emma is always like teasing her about it, and I'm just like, stop teasing her about it. She like has no clue what's going on. And then there's the whole thing with Diego, and then Diego's brother, what's his name, and how they're trying to keep this thing away from the cohort and the Dearborns, and how Diego is pretending to marry Zara type thing. I don't think Diego and Christina are gonna get back together because obviously she's got this Mark and Kieran thing going on, which I want to see what happens with that, because like Kieran respects Christina and definitely think that Mark deserves her, but like they keep calling her like Shadowhunter royalty. Like the Herondales are Shadowhunter royalty, and so is Christina, and I'm just and with Mark being in Fairy, with being in the Wild Hunt, he knows that status is a huge thing in Fairy, and so he doesn't know he can be with Christina, and he knew he could be with Kieran because they were both in the Wild Hunt thing type thing. So I'm excited to see how this relationship progresses, because Kieran is definitely going to be staying with them. Kieran is definitely going to be fighting with them against his father, the Unseelie King, and I am just excited to see what happens. Like, Ish is going down in the next book, and I am so nervous for Tessa and Magnus because of the whole disease things that's going on, them being sick. I'm scared for that. I am so scared to see how Ty reacts to Livy being gone, and I know he's going to rely on Kit a lot more. I'm excited to see Kit become more of a shadow hunter. I hope Deanne and what's his face? Oh my god, what's his name? I forgot his name. Edit Jessica will put it down here, but I hope their relationship progresses. Now I understand why Deanna never wanted to like step up, like everyone understands, because you know she is transgender and she had a transition from being a male to a female, and she used mundane doctors, and that is illegal. Which I don't know why it's illegal. Like, learning mundane things can be very helpful. I mean, think about the history. Like, mundane history can definitely help you with a lot of stuff you're going through now, because like the whole registration, I mean, that is very World War II concentration type, you know, discrimination going on. And I was really hoping that they wouldn't. The cohort is just so immature. Like, when they started throwing things at Annabelle, that was like the tipping point. I mean, I thought the cohort would have been a little more mature in how they handled them, like, being wrong and lying type thing. But obviously, if they're willing to lie, then yeah. So I want to talk about one of my favorite parts. When Julian and Emma are waiting for, I think it's the Pixies, to take the trap that they set up for them. And they're talking about mottos, you know, like family mottos, and I love it so much, because like the Blackthorn motto is a bad law is no law, and then I've got it marked. I'm gonna read it because I love it so much. The Lightwood family motto is we mean well, and then the Harrendale one is if you don't know your last name, it's probably Harrendale. So that is, I love that. Like, that literally needs to be the family motto of the Harrendales. If you don't know your last name, it's probably Harrendale. And then the Morgenstern one, when in doubt, start a war. Like, it's perfect. I love it so much. It's so great. Okay, so let's talk about Emma and Julian finally getting together, because, you know, they're finally like, we both love each other. We can't like separate. We can't stop each other from loving each other. So let's just be together, even with this curse thing on. And then they talk to Magnus, and Magnus is like, this is what you need to do. This is the best option for you guys, and I will help you out. And I was like, thank you, Magnus. Thank you so much for being so nice. And then everything just turned to crap. I know, it sucked. It sucked a lot. Drusilla. Let's talk about Drusilla. Drusilla and Jamie. Drusilla was in the background, obviously, through Lady Midnight and most of Lord of Shadows, and then finally we get some action with her and her meeting Jamie and her helping out Jamie. Jamie obviously thinks she's older than 13, even though she is 13. But let's talk about this device, because obviously Jamie leaves it there on purpose because he comes back and or he leaves it on accident. I don't know. But I think that the device is actually a prison, and it obviously holds a fairy in it. And that was the fae that Drusilla sees. Now, I suspect a relationship's gonna happen with them. I don't know why, that's just something I expect is going to happen, and I don't know. It's foreshadowed something is going to happen, but I have no clue what's gonna happen with it. And I am very nervous to see, and we'll just have to see what happens. So that, I think I touched on the most important aspects of this story. I am excited to see where it goes. It still hurts that Levy is gone, and I hope that some way, somehow, she comes back. I hope she comes back. I hope something happens to where she returns, and cause it hurts too much. I just, yeah. I hope you guys liked this video. If you did, please give it a like. Comment down below what your favorite part of Lord of Shadows by Cassandra Clare was. Make sure to subscribe to get notified when I make a new video. If you want to ring that bell to get immediately notified, you can do that if you want to. I'm not pressuring you, there's no pressure, but just, you can do it if you want. So, thank you for watching this video. I hope you guys have a fantastic day. I will see you in the next video. Goodbye! Hey! I locked the door so you couldn't annoy me! Haha! Take that!
Anne! Jessica, I need you!
No, you don't! Go away!
Me, Jessica!
Go away!
I love you!
Go away!
I love you!
Good for you! Everyone should love me. Yeah, you start that vacuum!